Though in the last movie, the anti-Purge political party won and they were supposed to end this day, they already made a prequel, so the only thing they could come up with was that the NFFA wins back and the Purges come back to last more than 12 hours. That's why today on the Summarizer, the Forever Purge. This is the story of Juan and Adela, a couple living in Mexico that for unknown reasons have decided to cross illegally into the United States. So they pay some guys, they get into a tunnel, and there's a scene that scares no one. And finally, a boy helps them cross the United States of America. Oh, and before leaving, he tells her that if she has any problems, follow the roses, and thank goodness the boy was smart, because our characters are entering the United States at the worst possible moment. Because among the Americans, there's a lot of racism. They hate immigrants more and more, and on top of that, the political party that invented the purges wins the elections again, and that same year the annual purge is gonna come back. Anyway, 10 months later, there's only 1 day left for the purge, and by this time, our characters are already working in Texas, USA. Adela works happily with other illegal immigrants in a meatpacking plant and gets along with her boss, Darius. And Juan is like Caesar Milan, but with horses, and he works for the Tucker family taking care of and taming the horses of the farm. But the Tucker family is a bit racist. They have all Mexican employees and they don't like their children to speak Spanish. Oh, and by the way, let me introduce you to them, because they are also going to be the main characters of the movie. The old man is Mr. Tucker, who is the one who treats the employees the best, and also gives them the purge protection bonus to take care of themselves on the day of the purge. Then there's his son named Dylan, who doesn't like Mexicans very much, and also doesn't like the fact that Juan can tame his horses and he can't, so he treats him pretty shitty. And then there's Dylan's wife, whose name is Emma and she's pregnant, and Dylan's sister, whose name is Harper and isn't pregnant. Oh, and then there are Juan's co-workers, TT, who is his friend and is a good guy, and Kirk, who is completely crazy and wants to use the purge to kill rich people. And now it's time for the purge. People start to gather in the street a couple of hours before they all go home, and Juan and Adela are picked up by a bus to take them to a safe place. When they get there, they pay some guys to protect them. They hide, and on the other hand, the Tuckers close their house, and now the 5th purge of the franchise begins.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government.
This is my favorite part.
As in all the previous movies, during 12 hours, all the crimes are legal. The politicians still have immunity, and well, the same thing happens as always. People spend a lot of money on weapons to purge, go out with dogs, and kill people while our protagonists stay hidden. The Tuckers also stay hidden. At one point, they seem to hear some noises, but all that happens is another one of these scenes that aren't scary, where it seems that something is going to happen is near where Juan and his girlfriend are hiding, because people are purging, and on top of that, some trucks appear with racist people inside who want to kill the immigrants. And also, apparently they have a bunch of people kidnapped inside the truck, but Adela is not stupid and doesn't get involved, so the guys don't attack them. And so, 30 minutes into the movie, the alarm sounds. The purge is over, all our characters are alive, and the next day, they all go back to work. Yes, everybody goes back to work like a normal day. Even though the streets are a mess, it's full of blood and dead people, and most likely, when you get there, a lot of your coworkers will be dead. But still, everyone goes to work, and then strange things start to happen. In the Tucker house, the cameras don't work, and when Dylan goes to the barn, some guys with guns show up. And on top of that, a journalist is murdered on TV. In Adela's work, there's a goat locked in a cage, and she has the great idea of freeing it. But thank God it's a trap and she doesn't have to think about what to do with the goat. What she does have to think about is how to survive, because there appear some guys with rabbit masks to kill her. But first, they're gonna say the phrase that gives the title to the movie.
The purge is over!
This is the Forever Purge. It's never stopping.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
Anyway, the trap takes a lot of time to kill her, and besides, she is the main character of the movie.
Yes, that's true.
So her boss appears and they start fighting for their lives. After the fight, the police arrive, and since the purge is over and they think they are murderers, they take them to jail. At the same time, Juan and his friend arrive at the Tucker's house, and they realize that the whole family is being kidnapped by Kirk and a group of people who keep saying the title of the movie.
This purge is forever!
This is the real purge.
He said it!
Our characters go to look for a couple of weapons, and although it doesn't take them long to find them, Kirk kills Mr. Tucker, and now our protagonists appear to save the family. In the shootout, Kirk is killed, and all our good characters escape in a truck. Meanwhile, Darius and Adela are in a police truck, but the city is a mess. People are completely crazy and are killing each other. On the way, I don't know how, Juan finds out that they are taking his girlfriend to the police station, so they all go to look for her. At one point, the street is blocked, so Juan, his friend, and the blonde go to look for her by foot. But still, they hit police van with a bazooka, and on top of that, the Tuckers are also attacked by some guys, but Dylan takes care of the situation. After the bazooka, Adela kills a Nazi inside the truck, and finally Juan appears to save her. Before getting into the truck, the blonde kills another one. Darius stays behind to go save his family, even though they are probably all dead because the city is a mess, and the rest escape in the truck. Serious question, what's wrong with people? How do they become like this from one day to the next? How do you solve this mess? Anyway, all our characters arrive at a hotel, where there are a bunch of dead people. They grab a couple of supplies, and TT and the blonde start falling in love.
With you. This could work. Everybody now. For I can tell, falling in love with you.
Bullshit.
But the romantic relationships don't matter much. What matters is that the government declares martial law and is going to send the army to all the cities. And they also find out that the presidents of Mexico and Canada are going to open the borders for 6 hours so that people without weapons can go. So now our characters want to go to Mexico. By this time, there are 3.5 hours left before the borders close, and on the way, Juan and Dylan start talking about their different cultures in a rather boring chat. But at one point, some motorcycles appear and start shooting at them. And just when you thought there was going to be an epic scene in which a truck was going to run over 4 motorcycles, the screenwriters came up with the idea that our protagonists show a flag in support of the Purge forever, and just for that, they let them go without firing a single shot. Later, they reach the city where there's already the army, and the truck breaks down, so they have to continue on foot. But at one point, the tank appears, and I don't know why, but it shoots them. They are all alive anyway, only Adela is locked inside the theater with Emma. The rest turn around to find the girls, and while Adela kills a couple of guys inside the theater. The rest see a bunch of things that have roses on them, which apparently are signs left by Mexicans to guide them or something. The point is that they keep looking for each other. Adela steals a gun, and there she tells her that she was from an anti-cartel defense group, and that's why she had to escape to the United States. Oh, and that is also the explanation of why she knows how to fight, use weapons, and those questions that no one asks when watching a Purge movie. There appear some guys with guns, but they don't kill them. They make them hand over the guns, and since they are from the racist group, they tell the family that if they kill the Mexicans, they'll let them escape. But the Tuckers learn that racism is bad, and they are good people, so they say no.
No fucking way!
So they first shoot TT,
I didn't see that coming.
and just as they are about to kill Juan, the army shows up to save them. In the middle of the shootout, Juan kills the blonde Nazi woman and all our protagonists escape. Adela arrives at a place where there are the marks of the roses that the boy from the beginning had told her about, and there appear other Mexicans to help them. The place is full of people, and Juan, Dylan, the pregnant woman, and the blonde also appear. And though they get a bit sad when they find out about TT's death, they have more important problems, because they close the border, because the country's a disaster, and because a lot of army soldiers are dying. Anyway, it's not a big problem because Chiago appears. I didn't introduce him before because there are too many names, but he is a guy who appears on TV and is against the purges. Oh, and he also knows the way to take them to Mexico, so he is going to help out our protagonists. When they're about to arrive at the crossing point, the Nazis show up with a bunch of guns, so while the rest of the people go down to cross to Mexico, our protagonists stay behind to fight.
This is our last step.
middle of the fight, they run out of ammunition, so our protagonists escape and hide in a house in the mountains, and now the final fight takes place. Anyway, they all cross to Mexico. Dylan goes to the hospital, and there his wife and their daughter, who, as she was born in Mexico, I guess she is Mexican. I don't know. The important thing is that the United States is a disaster. Everyone is killing people and everything is on fire. And you are probably wondering, how are all these people going to live? How are they going to feed themselves? What's going to happen to the country? Well,
No idea.
that was the Forever Purge. Comment which series or movie you'd like me to summarize for future videos. See you later.
Go to work.
Okay. Bye.